Right, we're back on the basement conversion. This is the kitchen that the is it Howden's, David? Where's it come from? Howden's. So Howden's have designed this kitchen. This is, let me just call it this customer name. There you go. Now they're showing the joint on the work surface next to the hob there, but that can't happen, and simply for the reason because if I, let's say that shoots through there like that, yeah, and I join it there, when I put my connector bolts in, they're going to be in the hob, so that obviously can't happen. So I've done it this way around here, so this piece here, let me just pull that apart, there you go, is going to bolt up to that. Now, problem with that is, the sink's in the bloody way, isn't it? This is such a small little kitchen, so what ideally the sink wants to go there because the bowl wants to sit into that cupboard like, you know, you'd imagine it would do, but I can't do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze it across like that. Yeah, so what I'll have to do then, I'll have to cut the side of that unit out, but what I'm going to do then, I'm going to get Yorkie to get another 200 base unit there, so that will hide that, and because there is still room for the washing machine to go in there. I don't know why it's been designed like that, but you can't put the bolts obviously where the hob is. It's not ideal next to the sink, to be fair, either. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Right, I'm going to show you how to join one of these work surfaces. This is a square edge work surface. Now, I do remember the first time I ever seen one of these, and I was really confused because what you normally do is, Debbie, what you normally do is you cut it like that and do a mason's mitre, and then, because it'll have a bull nose on there, and then that would be gone in the cut there. But what you can do with these ones is just butt joint them. Now I'm just going to put that like that. I'm going to run me plunge saw over this because the edge on that shit, and give it a nice crisp edge. But then can you see this lip in here, Davey?
Yeah.
I've got to take that lipping off, but what I've done previously before, and whether or not it's right or wrong, I've cut the lipping off there at little 45 that lip in there as well, took that lipping off, and then when I butt jointed it, it's been lovely because before that lipping went on, obviously that was a lovely machine factory square cut, so that should go together lovely. We're going to use these connector bolts. There should be some compound somewhere for the joining compound as well, which should be colour coded as well. And I'm going to show you how I was first ever shown to put the bolts in without the use of a jig. Or a router, to be fair. So what I've done, I've decided where my bolts are going to go. That mark there is the back of the cupboard, so I'm going to put a bolt there like that, one there like that, and one there like that, and I've transferred the marks onto there, so when I roll these over I know where to drill and cut, and I'll show you where I'm going to drill and cut as well. Just if you haven't got a router, it's just another option, I suppose. So I'm going to flip this over now. I'm going to trim that off, and then I'm going to prep this side, and then we'll get this side out and prep that side, and then it should go together lovely, and I'll see if I can get that lipping off and show you what I mean by that. Right, so these are the draw bolts for work surface. They're called dog bones as well sometimes. So what you want to do is just get your nut there. So this is if you haven't got a jig yet, so it's fully at the end, right? And then what I'm going to do then, I'm going to measure between that point there and that point there, because what we're going to create two holes and a slot, a dog bone like that. So what I'm looking for is that point there and that point there. So I'm looking at about, let's say 130 mil, yeah. So that's 65 mil. So what I want to do is come in 65. I've just trimmed this anyway, just put a neat work surface on there. So coming in 65 mil, yeah. So that's there. That's where I want the start of my circle, like that. So when that sits in there like that, it pulls on the circle, and we can tighten it up and pull it together. Right, that's a hinge cutter, like a Forstner bit, yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just measure that there, and I've got, it's approximately 18 mil to the centre. So I will go, look at statement tape, look. Absolutely disgusting, right? That is the centre there. That is the centre of that one. And that is the centre of that one. Right. So like I say, it's just a Forstner bit. And you get that on the centre there. Not actually going there, so there it is. I've mismeasured that, and of course I have. Right, can you see how I've got the edge of the blade on the line, Davey? Yeah. Yeah. You obviously want to be careful, right? That you know, you don't get too excited and go for the work surface. So if you we're looking for that depth basically. Because what we don't want it to foul on the kitchen cupboard below. Right, can you see that there, look, yeah? Sorry, could you see there, yeah? Yeah. It's completely under, yeah? So what we'll do exactly the same on the other one. A bit excited then. And same on this one. Yeah, so they're deep enough. Right, so what you need to be doing now is, I'm going to show you, just pop that back on there. Right, we need a slot for the bolt now, yeah? But we don't want to take it too big, because what we want is that bracket to bite. I've not really put that in the middle either. Like that, yeah? Right, so what I'm going to do now is take that out there. Like I say, this is how I was actually shown how to do it. Before the days of jigs, I think it might have been. Right, we're at depth there. Just pop it out, and there you go. That is going to sit in there like that. We're going to do exactly the same on this side, and when that nut is tightened, it will pull that clamp there and pull the work surface together. So that's how you can do it that way. Somewhere I have got a little trimmer. Where was that, David?
Is it over that side?
It was. You brought it over, didn't you? There it is. There it is. Right, so this is just a little laminate trimmer. Always taking this out with these. Right, so it's just got a flat cutting blade in it. So we'll do a pass like that, and then what we're going to do then is just make it a little bit deeper and do maybe 3 or 4 passes. I was going to actually try and lower it down while it was still going then, which is obviously dangerous. And what we'll do now is we'll just drop it so it's the full depth of there, which it is now. Turn it on. So there you go, look, you've got exactly the same scenario as that. Same job, but without the power tool. So that's like doing it by hand and doing it without a jig. And that's obviously with trimmer, but I'm going to do it with trimmer just because it's less work, really. So that's that. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other one. If Davey just follows me over here, I'll just show you what I've done here, look, as well. So I did actually have my line there, but what I've decided to do is put my line there, because what will happen is I'm gonna put a bigger hole in there so that I can get my spanner up and tighten the nut. I may actually do it at the back. No, I'll do it at the front. But what I wanted to do was there, but it's too close to the front. But if I put it there, they've got nothing there to pull that together and nothing to seal it and hold it together. So you do actually need to go there. So that's what you can do, is cut a big hole in there with a hole saw, and then you can get up to your nut. So we've cut out for his bolt holes, yeah, so we've got work surface where we want it to be. It's touching the wall, there's a little gap there, but I'm not scribing it to the wall because obviously that's going to get tile splashback, so that won't matter. So what I've done, I've put a bit of masking tape on there where that work surface meets that one, yeah. So what I'm going to do is Can you see the lippings there about 2mm maybe?
Yeah.
Can you see it there? So what I'm going to do, let's exaggerate it. So that's the lipping. And that's my masking tape there. I'm going to cut it at 45 like that, hopefully. And then that one there, I'll put a little 45 on there as well. And then that should butt up nicely, hopefully. Maybe. Right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and get that lipping off now as well, though. Do you know what, David? There's such a tiny little chip on that there. Can you see it? Right, we might trim that maybe. Right, so we've got to get this one back out now so that I can get that lipping on, but then that will be the last time it comes out. Right, so I'm going to get my square there and I'm just going to create a little 45. Don't know if you can see that all, David. Can you see it? It's quite hard to see, isn't it? Yeah, did you see it? Yeah? Right, I'm going to get this oversized chisel. I'm going to try. I've done this with a knife before, but I'm just kind of thinking maybe a chisel might be the best option. The lighting is really bad, isn't it? Right, if I get my tape on there. What I don't want to do is actually go into the laminate itself. Right, I'm going to leave that at that. And then I'm going to try and get this side off. Whether or not it'll come off, I don't know. This is how I've done it before. You might want to jump round to that side, David. Obviously, you don't see the bottom of the work surface, so I'm going to start at the bottom. Watch myself, because these are brand new, these chisels, I didn't cut my finger. And what I don't want to do is... Right, so it's on a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. Just going to heat it up a bit. Just reactivate that glue, I suppose. I'm going to keep my chisel well away from the top. Just put one on the water surface, that's it. It's going to have to be chisel job all the way along, isn't it? So, like I said, you keep the chisel away from the top and then you shouldn't damage the laminate. These chisels have never been out of the box and they've got like a manufacturer's grease on them to stop them rusting. Slippy as hell. Right, I think where my problem's going to be now is where I've notched out for this bolt. Let's see how we get past there. That is hot. Right, get that going again. No, you're not up. Hold it, Debbie. That's it. There we go. That's smoking. Literally filling the bloody animal. All it is the glue's staying really hot. Let me just put my sleeve over there because that's better. What I don't want it to do is snap where that bolt is there, so I'm going to get the chisel back on that now. And what I need to be careful of now is that I don't pull it past where I've hopefully chiselled through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop there. Set fire to this first. Right. And I'm going to run my knife down a couple of times. Because I don't want to pull. That's really hot still. There. Right, so that's just a bit of glue, that. You can see there, that's a lovely finish, is that? So that should go together lovely, but we'll see. It's the benefit of having these square edge worktops. What I might have to do is just sand that. It's a little bit coarse there, but what happens sometimes, it just does pull anyway. You know, because the glue's obviously pulled the fibres up, but I might just sand that. So we'll take that off, right? So David's going to stop now. We're going to lift this over and then offer it up and have a look at it. Right, so I'll cut that 45 on there. Just on there. And that one there. Come over here, David. Can you see there, look? Look, right, tiny little 45 there, look. Can you see it, look, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
I actually thought that were a chip, but it's not a chip. There's no rough edge on it, so that's going. Right, so you can see there, look, that's the machine finish. That's the plunge saw finish. That one's had the lipping taken off, took off. And you can see it's going to go together well. Now, can you see how that stepped over there, Davey?
Yes.
Yeah? So the problem I've got with this work surface is this kitchen's been in this damp basement, or it was damp until we started, for God knows how long. I understand maybe a year or maybe more. And what I'm thinking is this work surface might be a bit cut, so if it don't go together flat, then he's going to have to get a new one, because when I'm holding that there like that, see that there, it's like 7mm in it, Davey. But I know that, what do I know? I know my base units are flat, so I think it might be actually cut. I can't quite tell at the moment. But that's what we're going to do. So have a look at this as well, Davey. Here, look. There. I've drilled an hole in there. So what's going to happen is that that bolt will sit like that, and then I'll be able to put my spanner through there and tighten that up, or Davey will, because I'm gonna let Davey tighten them while I look at them and decide if it's cooked or not. So that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to have to do now is just lift this one up off of that bolt in like that. Yeah, there are some better ones on market, and they've got like a black plastic thing in which contains it. Yeah. So that there now will sit on that other one, and obviously but these ones here, Davey will just put them in like that, and then he'll start tightening them. And somewhere here I've got a ratchet spanner, which is great for this job, because obviously like that is like time consuming, where like that, yeah. Right, so I'm going to find the colour fill, because I did see a little tube, like a little toothpaste tube there. Toothpaste. There we go. So unbelievably as well, everything seems to be here in this kitchen apart from two little things. I didn't think it would be. You need that gets the crap off the work surface. That's your colour coded colour fill. So it's a worktop joint sealant and laminate repair, and I've actually repaired laminate floor with two of these before, grey and white mixed together, and it did a lovely job. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it on there like that, we're going to put it all along that top edge there like that, and we're going to put some on the bottom as well. And then what will happen there is it'll joint it as well as seal it as well. And we'll get some packers. I'm going to put some masking tape either side, just a couple of mil either side, so that we don't get too much on the work surface, because you have to clean it up then, obviously, which that's where that stuff comes into play. Right, so Davey's in there, look, he's got his ratchet spanner, he's ready to go. I've actually cut that all square there because it wasn't working for me round. So I'm going to get my colour film now, and I'm going to put it on this joint there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see this because I need a third person to video it. I'm going to put it all on that joint up near the top. I'm going to offer that over, and Davey's going to put the bolts in and start clamping them up then, and hopefully we can get this work surface to sit somewhere flat. But I'll show you afterwards. If it's not flat, you know, it's because it's cooked, because it's been down at damp cellar for ages, but we'll see. Right, so there is indeed a bow in the work surface as predicted. There's a nice and flush there, and nice and flush there, and I've got just an ever so little fraction of a step just there, about that long, real yeah, from there to there. So that's just sticking up a little bit, because it's like there's like a bow in it. Because I guess because it's been here that bloody long. Do you know what I mean? But I'll see what he says. It's either that or another work surface in it, one or other. And I think, to be honest with you, I think he'll go with that. It's only a slight fraction, but you can see there. Look, Debbie. Yeah. Can you see the little mitre on the top there? Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we've cut in there. And so that's how you fit the work surface without the use of a router. But so we're going to cut out for the hob now and stuff like that, and then we'll crack on. Right, what we're going to do now is edge this the end of this work surface with this edging, and we're going to stick it on with Evo Stick Impact Adhesive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the glue on there. Now what I'll do, I'll put it on there first because it will dry slower on there. And then I'm going to apply it to there, and then when it's touch dry, I'll stick it on and trim it off. Right, if you get a bit of contact adhesive on the work surface, don't worry about it because it does actually rub off. It only just sticks to itself, if that makes sense, you know, when the two are together. Right, so I'm going to use this flush trimmer there. It's got a little ball bearing wheel on it there. And what happens there, that cutter there cuts, and that ball bearing follows the profile of whatever you're cutting, so it cuts it to exactly the same shape. So what should happen now is it shouldn't burn it either, because I have had that issue before. Let's have a look. There. Right, so what I'm going to do, just trim it like that. Now you'll see, let's see if we can go around corner. There. Right, let me turn that off so you can hear me. Right. So it's followed the little bull nose there of that, but you'll see now that there's like a sharp edge. You can't see that, can you, Davey? Can you see that? It's really pointy, that edge there. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm just going to get my blade out of there. And just drag it down the Harris there. And it's just created a little softer touch on that then. And again, round the front there. And just on that corner, just wants a little bit of work. And then the bottom as well. But obviously I can't get in there with the router, so if you haven't got a router as well, you should be able to do it with a knife if you go steady. Because the lipping is actually bigger than the work surface. See the glue just come off there, look. It's a fine line between fucking it up and doing a nice job. Just push that back on there for that pull set. Right, so I'll just tidy that up a little bit more, but that's it basically. That's your work surface without the use of a router. Obviously a router is handy, that's a trimmer, not a router. But yeah, that's it basically. I'm going to cut the sink now, so got my bolts there obviously, haven't I? Yeah, so I've had a look under approximately. Let's have a look. That's where the sort of like the end of the hole is, so we want to stay away from there. So what you need to do, you need to get your sink. They do always tend to be universal, it's just a little cheapy one, this one. So that's where I'm probably going to put it. Am I going to put it there? Put it there. Right, so what's going to happen there, look, it's going to cut into the side of that unit there, the ball. But like I said, I'm going to get him to get a little unit there, possibly a 200 maybe or something like that. But we'll see. Right, so you put your sink roughly where you want it, and then you want to get some masking tape, and then you want to tape up your work surface because you're going to draw on it in a minute, and you're obviously going to run a jigsaw over it as well. I'll just take that off there for the time being. We know roughly where it's going, and you're going to run a jigsaw over it as well, so you don't want to scratch it. So I've now got masking tape all where the sink's going, the outside and the inside, and the reason for that is quite simple. Oops. Right, that's where I'm going to put it, yeah. I'm happy with that there. Right, so I'm going to grab a tape. No, I'm not. I'm going to grab a square. What's that sliding square, Dave? Is that gone again? Just keep it going, Dave. 5 minutes square, right? Are we good?
Yeah.
As if by magic it's there. Right, so we've got an edging in there as well. I'm gonna pop it back a little touch like that, and then so I want it square. I want it to sit square. So I'm gonna get me square. You can measure it if you want. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I've locked that off there, and I'm gonna do the same there and just pull that to that. That might have moved a little bit. It has. There. So that now is the final destination for this sink. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. Let me do it in Sharpie so that you can see. Right, I'm going to draw around the sink. Now, there's a step to this that you mustn't do. Pay attention because you fuck it up, that'll be that. Right, so there's my sink, yeah? Right, but if I cut that all out, the sink will fall straight through, which is not what we want. So we're looking at there, look, yeah? So that obviously needs to go down, that needs to sit on top. So 10 mil. 10 mil is what we want. So with that in mind, I'll get rid of that sink. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to measure, put stator tape on. I'm going to measure 10 mil in. All round, and that is going to be the cut point. And then what's going to happen then? York is going to come and go, oh, will you change the work surface? I'll have to cut it out again. Oh, we'll see. I think he'll just leave it. It's only a rental, isn't it? No. Right, so that's my 10 mil. So I'm going to grab a level, but we should have some room. Got level in there. Right, and I'm going to draw this line. I'm going to show you something in a minute as well. Right, I'm going to go there. We haven't got a short one. Oh shit, we haven't got a short one, have we? Oh, we have. Yeah, he's alright. I don't know what I've just done there. Just drawn on one surface. Fucking Sharpie. Right. So that's the line we want to cut, and so that we don't mess it up, right? Because if you do, your sink's going to fall straight through. Mark the line that you're going to cut to, and then you can't mess it up then, can you? Do you know what I mean? Right, so what you want to do then, you're going to get the jigsaw. I'm going to drill a hole there, drop the jigsaw in and go around and cut it out. Right, I'm going to change that blade because it's, I've hit a screw or something and it's blunted. I'm using a clean cutting blade as well, just because it doesn't chip the work surface and hopefully not anyway. So I've got my hand under it just to support it there. There we go. Right, so that's cutting out the work surface. We'll get rid of that there. And hopefully now when I take this off, there'll be no massive burrs come out. You can see there, look, can you see where it's chipped it a little bit there? But, you know, it's a clean cutting blade. You've got 10 mil on your cover of your sink. So it's not a problem. Well, there you go. That's your sink cut out. And of course, now, what the issue now we've got as well is I'm going to have to cut part of that unit out there to get the sink to actually go in. And same with the one that he's going to fetch me. Take that out. sink out. So what I'll have to do now is offer my sink in and see whereabouts I need to be cutting out. Not that way, over that way. You see there, look, it's going to obviously cover all that, but I've got the issue now. I need to drop that sink down into there, don't I? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put that there like that, and then I'm going to mark the profile of the sink so that I can cut that cupboard out there and slide the sink. I mean, ideally it would be better if I could drop it in that way, but the washing machine won't fit under them, will it? So that's your sink cut out. It'll get clamped down. Right, another thing that you need to remember to do and all when you cut your sink out is you need to protect this raw chipboard, because once, you know, it's a sink, it's going to get water in it, you're going to get water going under it, and it'll blow it. When I say blow it, it'll swell it and blow laminate off. So you need to seal that with something. You can use various things, PVA, silicone, and there probably is a product on the market to seal it with as well. But it does want sealing, definitely. So there it's in now. It just needs its clips putting on. I tend not to bother with them normally when I'm fitting the kitchen, and that seal that goes around there. What I'm probably going to do is put a generous blob of silicone underneath it, and put some weight on it and just leave it overnight, and it will be down. And also, not only down, it will be sealed then as well, and obviously just clean out silicone off. That's it basically. Right, so that's it now. So we started off with a damp, well, not really damp I suppose, a bit damp in the cellar. No floor in it as such. We've insulated the ceiling, we've insulated the walls, we've bolstered the walls, we've put floating floor, we've insulated the floor as well. That is the little kitchen area, and this will be the bathroom. Kitchen's been a little bit of a fuck around really, so I'm going to have to get him to modify that and put another unit in there so I can get that sink in, because of course I had to stay away from my bolts. There's a cup in the work surface, and it's not one you drink out of. The hob is gas, and there is no gas here, so that's going to get changed as well. Problems with little rooms like this, low ceiling height. The extractor hood, that's the height the extractor should go. The chimney is bigger than that. Chimney, wherever it is, David, where is it?
The blue things.
So what they account for, if you've ever fit one of these, which way, that way, so, you know, it would go up and down depending on the height of your ceiling, but because with such a small space, it's actually too big as it is. So I'm going to have to cut that, and they're a pain in the ass to cut. So we're going to have to do that Monday. So let's have a look in the bathroom. He's opted for one of these wall-hung toilets. Now, it's going to cause me no end of problems because it's got to have a bloody sandy flow as well, and where am I supposed to put that? I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do is take that out, stick a lintel in wall, make a cavity underground there, seal it all and put the sandy flow in there, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but that's what's happening there. The shower cubicle, like I said, I'm 5'8", so this is probably 6'4", 6'7", something, I don't know, something like that. So the shower tray has to be raised up for the waste to work, so it's going to be a little bit tiny in there, so whoever rents this would not want to be particularly tall, I'd imagine. But it's turned into a nice little bedsit, isn't it? So that's that, kitchen, bathroom and bedsit, and next week we'll probably, I'd imagine we'll finish anyway next week, will we? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so that's it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye, David.